There you go. Cycling beautifully. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. All right, so today we're going to be doing the EG's turn. So if you guys already seen the last couple videos, I'm not sure when this is going to be posted, but you guys have already seen that I did a relay system, a single relay system for my radiator fan on the good old EG. Luckily, that fixed this issue, and now we are running without no fuse being popped or exploding, for the matter. But other than that, the next one on the shopping block is going to be the EG, and I think the EG has been like this for a minute now. I fixed a lot of the grounding issues, so now it's working properly, and then my fan decided to, I guess, not work, which obviously, if you guys are aware, SPAL fans are not cheap. They're not that expensive. I mean, they have very different tiers of, you know, CSFM flows and stuff like that, but the one that I have, it's pretty much a 1200 to 1300 CSFM, which is perfect for dissipating heat off these K series. So fortunately, the one that I have took a crap, took a dump, and now I am in the process of fixing another one in there. So we have ourselves in here, you guys can see, I'm going to pulling it up right here. It is quite heavy. I don't think this is a authentic SPAL. I think it's like knockoff, but it has the same part number as the one from it. I'm going to put it here on the screen. It has the same dimensions, measurements, and CSFMs according to what I am looking at. So this is a copy of that. I can tell it's not an original one because of the box, but it was sold as similar part number, and it has the same dimensions like I was telling you. And look how thick this boy is.
Hi, I'm dude's biggest lady I've ever seen. Ah, that's a huge bitch.
So hopefully my problem right there is going to be fitting it and having some clearance. So I might have to eliminate the shroud. I'm not sure. So I'll see when I get there. I know I can probably order a PLM, which is a copy of the CSFM shroud, which is a lot more tugged. And I say copy because PLM is not the original maker. I think CSFM was the original one to make it. They just copied it like a lot of the products. But that's I'm not talking about that. So I've seen it go for about 50 bucks. That one, obviously the real one, it's super expensive, but they're pretty much identical. And that, I think, will buy me that inch and 5/16 that I am lacking or missing, because this is a thick boy. I believe it's 3.75, and then there was like 2.40 something inches, something like that. So the difference is like 1.3 something, which happens to be 1 inch and 5/16. So that's the dilemma that I'll be facing. But we're going to be making a relay, and I'm going to show you guys where I have it fixed. All right, there you go. So I decided to mount it right there. So for right now, that is going to be the mounting spot. Obviously, this is a little bit different than the EG. I mean, than the Integra. My apologies. Here we do not have a lot of space. You can see, look how close the serpentine belt is to the radiator support. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be funneling it from down there and just looping it up there, kind of like all coming from down there, just so that way I won't run into any issues, because I don't think I can probably round it through here. I don't think that'll be plausible. So most likely it'll be probably heading down and then going all the way from the bottom, and then from there you can either attach it to the alternator or your starter, sorry, or the positive. But I don't want any wires coming through here for that. I mean, I could potentially put it right there, but I don't want to have it. I want to have it like kind of like tugged and out of sight, out of mind. So this is I guess it's a decent spot to put it. It's right there. But I don't know. See, maybe if I can find another spot. For right now, that's what I'm going with. Not sure. There might be some other stuff down there. We'll see. But so far, relay system, fan, which we have right there, and then I have to see the difference, because you can see in there, it is pretty much super close to the sleigh cylinder. Sorry for the lighting, but super close right there. The fan, trying to get an angle for you guys. Right there, you guys can see. And it is going to be touching. Wow, it's super close. So, yep, that's going to be an issue. All right, so you guys saw I'm doing the relay system, and this time I'm going to be doing crimping for the Integra, which is behind you guys can see. I did soldering, which is a better option. I don't have a lot of soldering, and I want to keep it budget but still friendly. So obviously this is another option for anybody out there that is looking to do one. I was looking, and I do have a lot of the stuff to do it for the bigger, thicker wire that I have, like the 10 gauge and 12 gauge. So this is another option. I just completed this one right here. You guys can see in here, this is a quarter lug terminal with a 10-12 pin in there, which is pretty much the thickness of this wire that you guys have running in there. This will allow me to hold a 30 amp relay. And then also I was going to share with you guys, I was going to run this fan here, but it does not clear the car, well, the radiator and the slave, and because I have a thick boy CSFM dual port on the Integra, and I don't want to sacrifice the shroud, nor I want to spend a little bit more money and get the slimmer version, which that might help, but I don't know. That fan is a thick boy, and it is 1,600 CSFM, so it dissipates heat like crazy. Turns out my fan works, so I'm not sure what happened when I was troubleshooting. So at this point, it could lead me to believe that maybe I have a faulty relay. Still yet to know once I complete this and I test the circuit again. But this is giving you guys another option, as in crimping or soldering. Crimping is a lot easier, faster than soldering. Soldering, obviously, it's a more permanent and better fixed connection. I'm not saying this is not, but obviously this could give you a little bit more trouble in the future, because if you don't do it right, it could pop out, it could give you issues, or it could get like corrosion inside. But make sure you do it right. You put your heat shrinks, and you do it right the first time, so you won't have to correct your issue. But I'm doing on the EG, we're doing the crimping method just so it can be quicker, and at the same time I'm going to do it right. So it's just giving you an option to do it. So here we have an inlet fuse. You guys can see in here, this is rated for a 30 amp, which is perfect for what I need. Ideally you want to get a 10 gauge. This is also a 12 gauge in here, which is about the same, so it will hold. So don't get something like a thinner wire, because obviously it won't hold a lot on your amperage. So these SPAL fans are notorious for too much amperage on the circuit, and then thus popping the stock fuse. So I had that issue with the Integra, which got fixed. Now I'm in the same situation with the EG. Something that you guys, I didn't know is, I'm not sure if this may be the year, but the EG has a 15 amp for the cooling fan, which the Integra has a 20 amp. So it's 5 amps of difference right there. So it held pretty much for a while, but now it's time to upgrade, and I'm glad the fan doesn't work. I didn't spend a lot of money on that other fan because it was a special, and it's not, I believe it's not original SPAL, but it's same part number, so it's pretty much like an aftermarket, I guess, of it. And I tested it out. It does have a lot of power, so I know it's something worth, I guess, holding, and I'm not going to return it. Also, I could put it in the Integra. I was looking into that, but I have a dual shroud, so it's going to involve me removing the dual shroud to do it. But I do have the room because it's not a dual cord, it's a single, I believe, kind of like stock. So all right, so just making sure the mic is not dead because it turned off on me. But a little update for you guys. So this connector here, which I will show you guys, connects to the connector of the fan. And then here, because I found a ground, gonna be my little short ground because I'm trying to get it tucked out of sight, out of mind. Then here, this is going to be connected to, let me see if I'm looking at it correctly. So this is a fan. It's going to go to pin 30 on the relay, which I have it mocked in there. We have this one in here as well, which I'm going to be setting aside because we're going to be looming all those. And if I wait, I have to do it in a precise moment. But this is going to go to pin 30. So it's going to go to the fan because the fan already has the OEM plug, and this is the OEM male connector for the fan system as well. So here we got one, about to loom some of it already, so that way it's a little bit more uniform. And it's kind of different because this is a red and brown, but the red is going to be ground and then brown is going to be power. I'm going to go ahead and put this loom in here. There you go, you can see in there. Try to expose a little bit. I know what wire it is right there. Should be a little bit more decent in there. They're gonna have that ground in there flowing. So go ahead and heat shrink it real quick. All right, so now this is the connector that essentially is going to be speaking back to the chassis, which is connected back to the power of the vehicle, and then ground control by the ECU. So this is going to go pretty much back into the car, and then black obviously is going to go to pin 85, which is control, ground control ECU. That's the way I'm labeling it. And then white, which is going to be white here, as you can see in there, white. And it's going to go to this blue one, which is going to be the pull bolt from the vehicle itself, coming in there. So you guys can see in there. And I'm not going to be connecting any butt connectors or anything. You guys will see the distance is pretty much good, so I don't want to make it more annoying as it is already. But let's go ahead and strip the wires, the insulation out of it, so that way we can start looming. And then I have to play this right because I'm also going to be putting the loom, so that way it looks nice. All right, everybody, so I present to you the finished product. You guys can see in here. Here is the crimp single fan relay, and I'll talk a little bit and I'll show you guys when I'm installing it. So here you go, all done. We have coming from pin 87, as you can see in here, pin 87 here. This is going to be the 12 volt with the inland fuse, which is a 30 from pin 87, as you can see in here. And then the next one on the list is going to be for the fan. You guys can see I went with a male OEM Honda plug. And then we got the ground as well. You guys can see the ground. It's going to be the chassis. And then it's going to go all the way to, this is pin 30. As you can see here, pin 30 right there. It's going to be supplying the power to the fan. And then lastly, we have the connector that will be going to the male connector, which is part of the chassis, which is controlled by the ECU and providing power from the vehicle. And then that's going to go in here, and that's going to be let me see here, pin 85 is going to be the ground control. You can see there's going to be the black one, and then the blue one is going to be pin 86, which is that bolt coming from there. And yeah, so I forgot to put in some extra loom to cover this red portion here, but it's fine. That's going to be pretty much out of sight, out of mind, so it's going to be not that easy to see, to be honest. But I'm so stoked. Let me go ahead and start installing this in the vehicle, and I apologize if I didn't cover every detail because I don't want to record this and make it tedious. So super easy. I already said the 4 pin relay, so it's super easy. I know some of you guys out there are going to be struggling, but super easy. You know how I did it. And I hope it works, as I believe the fan works. So I think it might be my relay. Relays are kind of expensive, but they're not too expensive, but they're a little pricey for what they are. So that's something that I'm gonna have to be sorting out if it turns out to be that. But let's go ahead and start installing this. All right, so we got the relay right there. As you guys can see, it looks very, very discreet, very hidden. You guys can see going down over there. Nothing in here because obviously it's super close to the serpentine belt. But as we go down here, this is where it gets interesting to show you guys in here. And then and there, that's where everything's coming from. Red obviously is going to the alternator. Either that or you can put it to the battery. That gives them some zip ties, get it out of the way. And then this one right here is going to the fan. Right there, you got it to the fan. And then here we got the one that is going directly back to the chassis. The ECU is being controlled. I'm leading to believe that maybe my relay took a crap. So, but we'll see once I turn it on. But I did confirm that the fan does work. So, I can see the fan is cycling beautifully. The fuse pop, really doing its thing. There you go, cycled back off. All right, let's see. Waiting for the fan to kick back on. It brought it back down to 183. It's doing its thing. Fuse holding beautifully. So, not sure what happened. I guess the circuit was already too weak for it, but seems to be holding. Trying to hurry up. It smells super bad in here. Cycle one more time. I think I have it kicking on at like 186, 187 or something. There you go. Cycling beautifully. Relay doing its thing. Can't wait to get the EG back and going, fix all the kinks. There you go. Brought it back down to 185. All right, everybody, so closing out the video, summarizing what I did, I put a single relay for the cooling fan. It's a 40 amp relay, waterproof. You guys saw it's custom. We got it right over there, so it looks pretty tucked. It looks pretty discreet. I don't mind. I tucked everything down because the serpentine belt is super close, and I didn't want to chance it obviously like the Integra. And the Integra, I have a lot of space, which I was able to maneuver and finesse some of the wirings on the other side. We got it to work. It cycled a couple times, so I got it to work beautifully. One of the downsides, I was going to put a stronger CSFN flowing fan. I'll put it here if anything, but obviously it's in the video, so it didn't turn out to fit quite, and I'm going to show you why. So pretty much I am running a shroud, and by the way, if you guys are wondering, this is an eBay shroud. So the CSFM one or the PLM copy one, it's pretty much the one that this goes with, and it's a little bit more slim, so it'll give me more of that space. But you guys can see down over there, it's kind of hard to see, but the slave cylinder is right in there, and I don't have a lot of gap or clearance, which I think I have less than an inch of clearance with this fan right here. And that fan, the only way of me running it will be pretty much eliminating the shroud, and I didn't want to eliminate the shroud, so I just decided to put this one back, and luckily it worked. So I'm not too sure what happened when I was troubleshooting, but it was not the fan. The fan actually worked, so I'm not sure what the heck's going on, because I did put power and ground. Maybe I did it wrong. Obviously the relay on the chassis, it's good. Fused and not popped either. It's a 15 amp. So I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm glad the fan works. I'm not going to return the fan because it was a steal, even though it is a aftermarket from SPAL. But still, it has. When I tested it, applied 12 volts to it, it had a kick to it. So I'm going to keep that. Obviously, that fan actually fits pretty well on the Integra, so I might upgrade it later in time. I have all that space in there for it to fit. It's just I have a dual shroud, so I would have to take the whole shroud out in order for it to mock it and put it in there again. But nonetheless, the Integra and the EG and the Integra both have the same CSFM flowing fan, which is I believe 1,200 or 1,300. So it's dissipating beautifully. I know the other one will be amazing. I won't have no worries. It's a powerhouse, but didn't fit, and I don't want to give out the shroud. So, but yeah, it came out pretty well. As you guys can see, I ran the power to the alternator. It's your choice, either battery, starter, or alternator. I have it right there, you guys can see, and I have it accessible because the fuse is right there. Just in case if something happens, I can access the fuse easily instead of having it tugged. It's actually a little way more easier than the Integra, but nonetheless, you guys can see it's all tucked and around down there. Did my best to try to make it discreet, and I found a good spot in there, so pretty cool. And yeah, so the EG it has working cooling fan once again, so now I can cycle the engine because the car just sits here until it's time to revamp and get the car going, which I'm gonna have to tackle the whole leaks in the bottom, redo the whole exhaust because it came out horrible. But other than that, the EG's taking shape, and I expect it to be running not soon, but I don't know, I'll see, maybe next year, who knows. Yeah, I can't wait. I miss this car. And now we have a proper operating fan with his own relay assisting to the K-Pro. And yeah, even if I wanted to run another one in here, the space is super bad. It has to be a super slim one and no shroud. But I don't see this car having AC, to be honest. I will have to buy everything. It's a CX model, so I do not have nothing. I believe it has a lot of the wiring you guys can see in there for it if I wanted to run AC. Power steering, that's out of the picture as well. I think electric power steering is something more that I probably will look into, but I don't care. This car is pretty much going to stay the same way. I might add a shark, what you guys can see in there. It's already mocked, and it's blocked off with the purge valve. But yeah, so I'm not going to drag this video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. You guys like, comment, subscribe the video, if it was helpful or not. I try my best to document or at least detail what I'm doing. Leave a comment down below if you guys have any questions, and keep coming back for more K24 related content. Catch you guys.